listeners, as we broadcast day 2 of the Rural Focus Road Trip from Merredin at Ag Implements, we're joined by the CEO, Ross Withers. Ross, a very good morning to you.
Yeah, thanks, Vin. Pleasure.
Well, we've had a fair mix today. We've talked with the owner of the business. We're now talking with the CEO, the man who makes all the decisions. And I guess, can we just talk a little bit about the workforce and the structure you've got here, not only at Ag Implements in Merredin, but across all of your branches?
Yes, well, as you iterated earlier, we've got a number of branches, I guess, throughout, what's commonly termed the wheat belt, starting from Northam, through Cundon and out to Merredin, Market, Narrabeen and Quirting. And we've grown to a staff now of over 100. I think it's about 105 at the last count, and covering all areas, the service, parts, sales. And I guess the business now has moved on, although we have that family background that John started, and we still have that feel within the business, or at least we try to keep that feel within the business and be part of all the communities we're in. It really has evolved into a fairly large business enterprise these days.
Well, it is large and probably one of the biggest employers of staff in the Central Belt region, and that's a credit to the organisation, to John, to the staff, to yourself as CEO, to be able to manage that whole operation and manage it effectively in what could be described as an area which is traditionally very strong in agriculture, yes, but sometimes they have testing times.
Yeah, definitely, and I think part of our success really comes down to all those staff. The managers at each location, we do tend to leave them with a fair bit of autonomy, and they do make a lot of local decisions in terms of the servicing and the customer requirements. And really, I guess my role is probably more just coordinating it than anything, and just to make sure that we always have that focus. And once again, you did allude to it earlier with AJ. It's all about adding value. If we're not adding value, then we're really not contributing anything to their operations. So that's really what we try to focus on. And more so these days with the technology that's coming through with machines and capturing of that data, where AJ's main role is. And there's probably two types. One is the agronomic data, where people can capture their yield information and seeding rates and fertiliser rates and those things, and they have a repository through the My Operations Centre in John Deere. And then the other side of it is the machine data that AJ alluded to. And all these things are advancing every step with John Deere. They are the leaders in that market. We try to have service packages that deliver those products to the clients. And the next step will be in what's called John Deere's connected support strategy, whereby we are getting online instant alerts on machine health and problems, and we can actually deliver that support to the client saying, hey, you've got a problem. And expert alerts in John Deere is where they've taken, for example, a class of machine worldwide and said, hey, when this machine gets this many hours, we've recognised these problems. So we can actually monitor where a machine's up to, what its health's like, and actually give a pre-warning that you probably need to get in and get this machine seen to now rather than wait for the breakdown.
It's interesting because it's a lot about business, over 100 people employed by the company around the wheat belt areas of Western Australia, but very heavily involved in the community too. And I think that's a key thing in some of the smaller country towns, or not necessarily small, but key to be part of that community, support local events, support local community, and that's what Ag Implements do as well.
Yeah, and we try to, and we certainly do contribute to a lot of local events throughout the wheat belt, and particularly in the branches, obviously, where we're located. We get heavily involved with the Muckenwood Spring Festival. We do pretty much all the local shows, a lot of numerous sponsorship type things. I can't say that we satisfied Mucker in one occasion when they asked us for a 6'6" 6.5 Ford. We tend to just get the technicians that we can to try and look after the servicing there. But
Ross, thanks very much for being involved in Rural Focus today. It's a wonderful story, Ag Implements. It's a growing story across the central wheat belt regions of Western Australia. And thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure, Vin. Thanks.